The stadium was packed. Thousands of voices thundered like waves crashing against cliffs. On the track stood a group of young runners, each with fire in their eyes and determination carved deep in their faces. Among them was a boy named Armin. He wasn't the fastest nor the strongest. His shoes were worn, his clothes plain, and many whispered, "He doesn't belong here." But Armin had something no one else carried, a heart that refused to quit. The gunshot echoed, and the race began. Like arrows, the runners shot forward. Armin sprinted with all he had, but within moments he fell behind. The crowd sighed, shaking their heads. And then it happened. On the third lap, his foot caught the edge of the track. He stumbled, fell face first onto the ground, dust filling his lungs. The stadium roared with laughter. "It's over for him," they mocked. Armin lay there, pain throbbing through his body. His knees bled, his palms stung. He thought of quitting, just staying down and letting the race pass him by. But in that moment he remembered his father's words. "Son, life is not about never falling. Life is about how many times you rise after the fall." With trembling hands he pushed himself up. His body screamed in protest, but his spirit burned brighter. One step, then another, slow, shaky, but unbroken. The other runners had already disappeared ahead, chasing victory. But Armin wasn't running against them anymore. He was running against his weakness, his fear, his doubt. The crowd grew silent, watching him limp forward. Lap after lap he pushed through the pain. His body looked broken, but his determination was unshakable. And then something extraordinary happened. The laughter turned into applause. The mockery turned into cheers. People rose from their seats chanting his name. When Armin crossed the finish line, long after the others, he collapsed to his knees. Tears streamed down his face, but his spirit soared. He hadn't won the race of speed, but he had won the race of life. For in life, true victory doesn't belong to the one who finishes first. It belongs to the one who never gives up, no matter how many times they fall. Remember this. Your journey is not about outrunning others. It's about outrunning your excuses. It's about crossing your own finish line, even if the world doubts you. So when you fall, and you will, don't stay down. Rise, keep running. Because the race of life is not about how fast you go, but how strong your heart beats in the face of struggle. The next morning, Armin woke with his body aching, but his spirit strangely alive. The race was over, yet the memory of every step still burned inside him. People in the town whispered about him. Some mocked his fall, but many spoke with respect about the way he rose again. For the first time in his life, Armin realized something powerful. Winning wasn't about medals, it was about courage. He walked through the streets and noticed young boys running, imitating him. They weren't copying the fastest runner. They were copying the one who refused to stay down. That day he understood. His struggle had become someone else's strength. Days turned into weeks, and Armin kept training. Every morning before sunrise, when the world was still asleep, he ran alone on the dusty track. He stumbled many times, but he no longer feared falling. Every bruise became a badge of honor, every scar a lesson. People began joining him, first one, then two, then a whole group of runners. They weren't chasing speed, they were chasing resilience. One evening, as the sun melted into the horizon, a young boy came to him with tears in his eyes. "I saw you fall, but you got up," the boy said. "I was about to give up on school, but then I thought, if you didn't quit, why should I?" Armin bent down, placed his hand on the boy's shoulder and whispered, "That's the real race. Keep running." Slowly, Armin realized that life was never meant to be a sprint. It was a marathon of endurance, and every person had their own track to finish. Some ran faster, some slower, some stumbled more often, but the truth remained the same. Only those who kept going would reach the finish line of their dreams. The world may never remember the names of those who quit halfway, but it will always remember the ones who refused to bow down to failure. And so Armin kept running, not for the crowd, not for the trophy, but for the fire inside that told him every single step mattered.